welcome back to Girls with Wisdom. My name is Karina, and today we are going to be going over how to code the MACD, which is also known as the Moving Average Convergence Divergence in Python using R. So you can use either Python or R for this. They're very similar in this concept where you can use finances to do it. The good thing about MACD or MACD is that it's something that you will be using as a real-life career. So the new unit that we've been doing for the past few weeks is we're using stock markets, we're using actual stocks and calculating it or graphing it. So this is one of our series that will be the concepts you're using for real life as possible career choices. So to explain a little bit what MACD is, it is used for the difference or trading of circles. So what this is good for is that you are able to find a trend following indicator. This is calculated by subtracting the period over the duration of time, either by the 26 or 12 interval. Another thing that's really important about this is that it's used for the divergences, the periods, the slopes, whether it's positive or negative, and it's something that's really important to know. That's why it's very useful. Another concept that you're going to hear about it so you're not confused is bullish and bearish, as well as the signal line. So that's how we're going to be comparing the moving averages of a certain stock. So a bearish signal occurs when the MACD is below the signal level, and the crossover of it, or the bullish, is when it is above the MACD line. So that's basically something that has a term that you're going to be using. So once again, bullish is when the moving average is the moving average convergence divergence is above the signal line, and the bullish is when it's below the signal line. So to start the code of it, we have to import a few things. So we're going to write import. So let's just go in here and get started. We're going to write import pandas as PD, import numpy as NP, and then, why did it do that? As PD, and then we write import numpy as NP from datetime, import datetime, and then import matplot.lib. The reason as to why we're importing this, because to do a graph to import a graph, you have to write matplot, so pyplot, as PLT. So now we have our ticker is equal to quote AMD. That's the stock we're going to be using today. You can use any stock you wish. This is just the one that I had downloaded from Yahoo Finances. In the past, we have done Tesla, Amazon, Facebook, Netflix. You're able to do whatever you like. It's very easy. You just need to go onto Yahoo Finances and download it onto your computer, and then I'll upload it. So now we have a time frame is equal to 6M. So now we have our DF is equal to the P dot chart of DF, and this is our ticker and time frame. So this is going to be showing us what our graph is going to be looking like, or X and Y's. And if you paid close attention, in Java or other languages, you use camel case. However, in R, you don't need to. Same thing with Python. So the next thing we need to import is a DF is equal to the DF, these brackets, and then just write close. And then after that, write DF dot reset underscore index, and then parentheses level is equal to 0, and then comma in place is equal to true. Now we have to do our columns. So our columns is equal to DS, and we're going to do a comma for Y. So now we're going to have to plot it. So what we're going to write is plt.plot, and then just write df.ds, comma df.y, and then we're going to have to do a label. So this is going to be when you're going to see in a few seconds is that the graphs are going to have lines. So one of them is the moving average for AMD, and the other one is the signal line, so we can be sure the bearish and the bullish. So now you're going to write AMD. Make sure you use the right colons. And then PLT dot show. So right now we have just created the moving average line alone. So now we need to go to our desktop. So it saved it, and it's the MACD alone. Okay, so as you can see, this is the AMD's MACD. Once again, MACD stands for the moving average convergence divergence, and this is what is happening with the period of time. So this is really important to understand the moving average of how it's going up and down over this trending period. So this is the MACD, and this is really important to understand what is going on as it's implementing the moving averages of it. So the next thing we need to do is to get the signal line, so we're able to determine the bearish and the bullish. So the next thing is we need to go down a few lines, and we're going to need to write and make it more specific. So we're going to write the experiment 1 is equal to the df.y.ewm for the span is equal to 12, and then adjust is equal to false, and then we go out of parentheses and just write the mean of it. So the reason as to why we did 12 is that I said in the beginning of this video it has a period of 12 and 26. MACD is that duration of it, so we have to do one for 26 too. That's our experiment 2. So experiment 2 is the df.y.ewm for the span is equal to 26 now. And then we're going to do a comma for the adjust is equal to false. Go out again and write the mean. And then now we can go down and write the MACD is equal to the experiment 1 subtracted by the experiment 2. That is the formula for this to understand the bearish and the bullish. Now we have an experiment 3. This is equal to the MACD dot EWM, and then the span is now 9. So the span is 9. It's going to adjust. It's going to adjust is equal to the false, and then we have to do the mean one last time. And as a result, we have to plot it now. So PLT plot is equal to the df.ds, comma, is also equal to the MACD. We also have the label is equal to, so now for our lines like we had, one of them is called AMD MACD. This is the stock we have, and then we have to pick a color. So let's just put the color to be equal to, I'm just going to do this color that I tend to always do. So something you need to pay attention to is you can't just write blue, green, that. You need to go onto a website and pick a specific color. So my desired color has a pound number of EBD2. Oops. Oh no. 1 second. Okay. So subtract the 3 out, and we have BE. You can change this to any desired color. You just need to go on Google and get a color wheel and get the numbers. But that's what I just want to do so you can see the contrast of it between it very nicely. So now we have a PLT.plot for the df.ds, and then the experiment 3. Label is equal to the signal line. This is the other graph that we're going to be able to compare via bearish and bullish. So now we have another color which is equal to E5A4CB. So now, as we have that done, we just need to do a few more things and just write 2 more lines, and then we are done. So we're able to compare the two. Now the legend of the lock is equal to upper left. And then lastly, our PLT dot show. So now we have our graph, which is ready for us, and it's the MACD versus signal line. So if you pay close attention, these are the two colors that I picked. You're allowed to pick whatever you want, and we have a key right up here. So this is our key. The light purple is the AMD MACD line. However, that maroon color is a signal line. You're able to change that. But now you need to understand what this graph means. So the bullish crossover is in the green. So here, I'm going to explain it right now. So every single time these graphs intersect, it's either bearish or bullish. So you could see all of these. So we're going to go step by step to understand what it means. So once again, to understand what bearish is when the bullish crossover is the first one we're going to do, and that is when the moving average crossover is above the line. So let's first do bullish. So once we do that, let's look at every single time that they indicate it. So here, this is the first one. This is the first, right, in this region where it's 2018 in November. That's when it's the bullish crossover. It's above it. So we see that it's above it this time, and then the next time it intersects where it's here. This is now the bearish. The bearish one is when it's under it, as you can see. The next intersection is bullish right here. And then there's only 4 more intersection points. Let's just zoom in so we can get a better look. Right here. So see how it's under? That's bearish. Now it's up again a little bit. It's so tiny, but it's up. Now that is bullish, and then once it's down again, it's bearish, and then finally it's going up again, and it is bullish. So whenever the purple, in my case, or however you changed it, the moving average is above it. So this purple is a signal. So when the purple is above it, it's bearish. When it's below it, it's above it, it's bullish. When it's below it, it's bearish. This is something that's very important. And if you have any questions on this topic, please feel free to reach to us, and we're able to explain it in a more simplistic manner. This was today's video covering the MACD and learning about the signal line, learning about bullish and bearish, and how to code it in R. Please feel free to contact or direct message us on Instagram at girlswithwisdom or email us at girlswithwisdom@gmail.com. I hope this was helpful, and please feel free to comment descriptions below or any comments of what you want to do next, if you want to continue the stock market center, or we can move into games, whatever the student wants to learn. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed.